Hey guys, Gear from the future here, realizing that I forgot to record an intro. Welcome everyone to my new collection video. Now I've talked about what this video is going to entail before, but just to reiterate, this is going to be my last manga collection in a very long time. I am downsizing quite a bit, selling a lot of my series off. So instead of doing the usual quick rapid fire collection video that I've done in the past, with this one I've decided to take my time a bit, be more detailed, be a bit more retrospective. So yeah, just letting you know what you're getting into here. I may go on long tirades about a specific series. If you don't really care, then just feel free to skip a few seconds ahead to when I'm on to the next thing. On that note, I'm also going to be going over my video game, movie, and novel collections. So again, if you don't really care about seeing those, you can just skip them. So that being said, I hope you all have a good time with it, and let's begin. Starting off the first shelf with I Am a Hero. Now, there are a lot of series in my collection that you will soon see. Series that I either started to pick up and then kind of stopped, or series that I just randomly have a few volumes of, but they're all series that after however many years I've owned them, I still really haven't given a fair shake. For some that may be a bit annoying to see, because there are some series that I've just had almost since the beginning of this channel that I've just had a few volumes for that I really still haven't checked out yet. But yeah, I Am a Hero is one of them. I started collecting it when it first started coming out. I believe that the release schedules were some absolute bullshit. I think at the start Dark Horse was releasing these 6 months apart, I want to say. Something insane like that. Now, eventually they did speed it up and release them all, and I did pick these two when they first came out, but just how I was collecting so many series and these releases were so slow, I kind of just forgot about it. And it also didn't help that at this point I was kind of getting really sick of zombie-related media, which isn't the fault of the manga, but that's how it was. So not much else to say on it. I mean, I do hear it's really good, and I will be checking it out soon. What I think I might actually do is just once I check out all these manga that I haven't really gotten into yet, probably going to do a video similar to what I do with my seasonal anime videos or my Shonen Jump videos, where I just give mini thoughts on all of them, because I might find something that I really want to keep reading. If I do like this, I don't know if I will pick them all up. Probably not, just there's so many at this point and they're all expensive omnibuses. But yeah, there it is. We have Pokemon Adventures, the first 2 arcs of the series, and it's fine. I'm a big fan of the Pokemon games. I mean, not really the recent ones, but Pokemon has played a pretty big part in my life, so I did want to check this out at some point, and I did. So we have a nice compact little box set here with the first 7 volumes. If you're a Pokemon fan, a die-hard Pokemon fan, I'd recommend it. But otherwise, I mean, it's still Pokemon. It's made for children. It is a lot better than the original anime series, but it's nothing too crazy, and this is going to be something I will be selling pretty shortly. Up here we have the Death Note All-in-One edition. I'll talk more about the series itself once we get to my other Death Note editions. I did buy this a few years ago when it came out for the meme, because when I just heard about it, I'm like, what the fuck? They managed to squeeze a 12-volume series, as we can see here, into the length of about 4 normal manga singles. And it's kind of impressive because for how absolutely ridiculous this is, it's kind of alright. This is a perfectly readable volume of manga, and I believe it is still the cheapest way to own all of Death Note physically. So if you're short on money and you really want to read Death Note physically, I mean, this is not the worst thing you could do. There we go, secret life hack here, getting the Death Note All-in-One back in. Shit. This really does not want to go back in. As a kid, I never stopped searching for a great treasure. I had a map in my mind that I knew would lead me. Oh boy, it has been a journey. It has been a journey. One Piece, one of the first manga I ever read. For a while, it was one of my favorite manga. It's what I named this channel after. And I still very vividly remember my experience with this series. I got the first box set in, I believe, Christmas 2014. That's when I began my journey. Later on in the year, I was able to score a really nice deal to get a large chunk of the rest of the series. I think it took me up to Fishman Island. Then I was able to purchase the rest, and I specifically remember that I finally caught up with volume 76. That was, of course, in the English releases, because by this point, I had gone on to read the new chapters of One Piece, which I believe took us right up to the end of the Zou arc. That is when I finally became up to date with One Piece. So, of course, the best-selling manga of all time, extremely iconic, extremely popular, and it's been a while, I think, since I've actually gone over my thoughts on One Piece. So what a better place to do it than this long-ass collection video. East Blue is solid, it's nothing too special, gets really good near the end, really hooks you. Baroque Works is sick, especially the Alabasta stuff. That's when, I first realized, I was like, yeah, One Piece means business. This is some good shit. Skypiea, It's a thing. It's a thing. The Foxy. Oh man, Water 7 is excellent though. Fantastic arc, probably one of the best in Battle manga history. Thriller arc's alright, but then all of this is even better than Water 7. 50 to 60 here, this is the good shit. Like, this is some of the finest battle manga stuff I've ever read. Then we have the New World, which is, it exists. I hate to say New World has made me fall out of love with One Piece, because it really hasn't. I still enjoy a lot of the stuff in New World, but I mean, as you can see, I have not been up to the, I'm like 10 volumes behind or something. I just sort of stopped collecting One Piece. I still continue to read it online, and honestly, Wano has been probably my favorite New World arc so far. But yeah, overall, I just don't have the same passion for New World that I did the previous stuff. Not to say it's bad, not to say you can't enjoy it. I still enjoy a lot of it. And yeah, that leads me to, of course, the fact that I'm gonna be selling One Piece.
Can't pay the cash, then you're out with the trash.
I've already announced it, but I know it's weird. It does feel weird that I'm going to be saying goodbye to it. But you know, I think it's time. I think it's time for someone else to experience this adventure in a sexy physical form. I mean, I'm way behind. It takes up so much space. If I ever want to read it again, I can just do it on the Shonen Jump. So, you know, good shit, One Piece. Thank you for all the memories, even if they weren't so great. But yeah, keep doing you. I hope you finish within the decade, and then we can all enjoy a fantastic conclusion. Anyway, next up is Splatoon. I've said everything I could possibly say about Splatoon at this point. It just, like, everyone knows it is the greatest manga. Actually, just stop the video now. Fuck this. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? It's under everything here. Look at this shit. Fucking, oh my god. Buy this fucking manga. It is one of Viz's top selling manga for a reason. This is the good shit. Where the fuck is Splatoon 3, Nintendo? Jesus Christ, I've been waiting for so long. Parasite is fantastic.
Pat yourself on the fucking back.
This is easily one of my favorite series ever. I was first introduced to it by the anime, which is a fantastic adaptation. This is a pretty old series, and the anime does update it for modern times, but I have to say I enjoy the manga even more. It's just such a fantastic, you know, horror, sci-fi thriller type thing. And yeah, there's not really much to say here. I remember I bought it all in one go. I read it, loved it, reviewed it. I've since read it again. I've even watched the anime a few times now. Kodansha's releases are not great. Like, these are not the greatest of quality, but they do look pretty nice on my shelf. So you know, good enough, I suppose. Nightmare Inspector. Oh no. Where is it? Aha! Would you believe this? Would you believe that I have actually been reading Nightmare Inspector? Yeah, that's right. I'm not completely useless. So this is a series that I got in 2016. I got it all for $30 by a local seller. Pretty cheap, so I couldn't refuse. And the most interesting thing about this one to me is that no one fucking knows what Nightmare Inspector is. And now that I've actually read 4 volumes, I can say Nightmare Inspector is... it's a thing. This kind of surprised me. It was kind of really interesting. It didn't really blow me away. I don't really care about the characters that much, but it's like an episodic series that deals with people's dreams. It becomes very abstract and very surreal, and it's definitely an extremely unique read. And just because no one knows about this series at all, I would be inclined to call it pretty underrated. That being said, I didn't care about it all that much, and I don't even know if I'm going to finish reading it, and I definitely will be selling it. But, you know, this is just one of those series that no one really talks about, and it's really interesting, because, like, I don't see why. I mean, I can see a lot of people really digging this one. We have Noragami, another series that I have yet to get into, but I will soon when I get into everything. I did buy these with the intention to read them, but I think right when I did, the manga went on hiatus for a very long time, which kind of killed my motivation. I'm pretty sure it's back now, which is great. It's great for the fans. I still hear this one is really good. Out of all these things that I have to check out in my collection, I am looking forward to this one quite a bit. Astra Lost in Space. Fuck yeah, Daddy Shinohara. This is one of my favorite series ever, and it is so underrated. Like, an anime just came out, people have already forgotten about it. What the fuck? This series is so excellent. Blew me away. I had, like, heard about it I wasn't really that interested. I saw it was all on the Shonen Jump app, so I read through it all, and it was so damn good that I just immediately bought the whole thing. And I had already just read it. I had no reason to buy this, and I did. Like, that's how much I adored this series. Like, seriously, if you like sci-fi, adventure, ensemble cast stuff with a really, really mind-blowing story, this is it. This is fucking it. Dr. Glare? Yeah. Oh boy. Dealing with lights is literally my least favorite thing about making videos. Holy shit. But we're just gonna have to deal. Dr. Stone is fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite ongoing weekly Shonen Jump series at the moment. And as soon as I first read it about a year ago, I knew that I would have to add this to my collection and continue to pick it up. Dr. Stone has probably one of the most unique and inventive premises I have ever seen in a manga. Like, the reset button has been pressed on humanity, but we still have the knowledge of, like, modern technology. So seeing from these characters go from the Stone Age to, the modern age, or well, the best they can do, is so excellent. Just such a very interesting story. Interesting conflicts, a lot of mystery elements. It never fails to entertain the crap out of me. We're almost at the end of the Stone Wars here, and then we're going to get into another massive arc. While I don't think is as good as the Stone Wars, it was still really, really great. I love where the series is going. I cannot wait to see more. If you're an anime-only watcher, fuck that shit. Read the manga instead. One Punch Man, a very early addition into my collection. I believe I started picking these up as soon as they came out. In fact, I remember specifically that volumes 1 and 2 were released on the same day. Wish they would do that more, because that's kind of epic. And I believe they also came out like right when the first season of the anime was airing. So, I've been on the One Punch Man hype train for quite a while. I think like the first 10 volumes or so are absolutely excellent. We all know what One Punch Man is. It's an excellent satire of shonen battle manga. A great cast of characters, really, really funny stuff. Plays with all the tropes, has a great time. And of course, this is the remake of One's webcomic with art by Yusuke Murata, and it is stunning. It is, it's so good. But I do have to say, I think the story starts to run out of steam a bit, particularly in this area, where Saitama's at the tournament and stuff. Season 2 did a garbage job adapting it. It remains entertaining because Yusuke Murata is so damn good at drawing action, but I feel like this series has said all it needed to say at this point. I am going to be getting volume 16 though, because that is kind of like the most epic shit I have ever seen. But after that, I don't really know if I'm going to continue picking it up. I'll definitely continue reading it. But yeah, I'm not as crazy as One Punch Man as I used to be. But it's also worth mentioning that the stuff I don't really care for was not in the webcomic. So what up, Yusuke? Now for the boomer, Attack on Titan is the oldest manga in my collection. Volume 1, this special little guy. Hi, how's it going? The shitty Kodansha quality make all your pages fall out yet? I'm gonna just stick you back in there because I'm afraid to open you. Yeah, the one that started it all. Attack on Titan, not only did it first get me into manga, but it is one of the first big things that got me into anime. And people will roll their eyes. They'll be like, man, Attack on Titan, man, we're the true OG snorting that Naruto shit in 2008. Fuck that, man. Attack on Titan's awesome. My opinion on this series has really aged like a fine wine. I went back to some of my earliest videos where I was like, yeah, Attack on Titan's good and all, but it's just good. Yeah, it's just good. I think we were on volume 12 when I first caught up to Attack on Titan. But man, since then, holy shit. I've said this recently, but Attack on Titan has really evolved into one of the best battle manga I have ever read. The characters, which started off as not that interesting, became so well developed, so interesting. The story has so many layers. The level of foreshadowing is absolutely fucking insane. And the part we're at now, which is the climax of the entire manga, it's like 100% finally going to end this year. I just can't get enough of it, man. It's so damn good. I used to not think this, but it really is worth all the hype. It really, really is. So is My Hero Academia. Uh-oh, did I trigger some people? This was another very early addition to my collection. I believe it came out in late 2015, which was before the anime even came out, so, I'm one of these OG fans here. But to be honest, it didn't really grab me at first. I mean, I thought it was interesting, but, as the volumes came out, I would read them, I was like, yeah, okay, this is cool, whatever. Once we got to the Forest Training Camp stuff, the Hideout Raid arc, holy shit, I was on board. I really still think that these volumes right here are some of the best shit I've read in the battle manga. If you don't agree with me, I'm pretty sure you're wrong. And, since then, I've really fallen in love with this series. I love the characters. I love the hero society. This definitely ain't no masterpiece. I mean, some of the arcs are definitely better than others. But, overall, it has been pretty consistently enjoyable right up until the new stuff. And man, that new stuff, it's really, really sick. So for the time being, I definitely plan to continue collecting My Hero Academia. I've also seen the whole anime, which I think, for the most part is a great adaptation. I kind of fucked up the overhaul arc, which was really disappointing because the anime is known for its fantastic animation, and they kind of dropped the ball here. If the anime messes this up, I will never forgive them. But if they do this right, I will have nothing but praise. My ejaculation will last for days. And we have The Promised Neverland. I began reading this series, not when it first started, but pretty early on, when it was still in its first arc, which never used to happen. Back in the day, when we weren't getting every single series translated from Shonen Jump, we had to wait a while. But from chapter 1, people went crazy about The Promised Neverland, and I started reading it, and I went crazy about it too. The first arc, the first 5 volumes here, is one of the best manga arcs I've ever read. It's so fucking good. It's so good. But then after that, I kind of fell off The Promised Neverland. I still don't know why, but I kind of just been it was okay. I was a fucking idiot. Next arc here, Goldie Pond, is honestly on par with the first one. This is some fucking excellent shit. The story and the world are excellent. The characters are fantastic. Oh, some of the villains, they were so good. This is not a standard action manga, but some of the action is so sick. Posca Demizu is one of my favorite manga artists working today. Holy shit, her stuff is good. But then, of course, we have the final arc, which I believe starts with this volume. Excellent covers, by the way. Holy shit, that's another thing to praise about the series. The goddamn covers, look at this! And I have to say, the final arc has unfortunately not really lived up to the standards I've come to know from The Promised Neverland. That could just be because I've been reading it entirely week to week, so maybe my opinions will change a bit when I binge it all when the series ends. But, it has still been very enjoyable. There have been a lot of really excellent moments recently, but I do think I am going to wait for the series to end before I decide if I want to buy the rest or not. If the series can stick the landing, I truly believe that it will still be one of my favorite manga ever. But for now, we'll see. I still look forward to reading it every week, don't get me wrong, but, it just hasn't been quite as good as the first few arcs. And closing off this shelf, we have Magi, The Labyrinth of Magic, 1 through 30. This was the first battle manga I read that made me realize One Piece wasn't the king. I mean, yeah, in terms of sales, in terms of length, probably world building, One Piece is the king. Yeah, good shit up there. But when I got to volume 20 of Magi, I was like, oh, things can be better than One Piece. Who the thunk it? Magi is incredible, man. I got this series really early on. I remember I picked up the first 3 volumes from someone for $10, but it did take me a while to get into it. But I started slowly buying the volumes, and I started slowly reading it. And oh my god! It started off, fun, battle manga, action, whatever. But once you get into the politics, once you get into all the magic systems, and the history of the world, and all the amazingly fleshed out characters, it's so good! It's so good. This arc right here, man. This arc right here. This is one of my favorite battle manga arcs ever. I really consider this to almost be the peak. I don't own Hunter x Hunter. Okay, that is the peak of long-running battle manga with multiple different arcs. But this is damn close. This is some good shit. And afterwards, it still continued to be excellent. Now, I still don't own the full series. I do plan to get it at some point. Probably the next time there's a sale and I can just get a lot of them for cheap. People really need to give the final arc of Magi a chance. The anime ended here, so a lot of people just kind of stopped there. And, it does have a bit of a reputation for the ending being kind of a mess. And I won't deny the ending of Magi is kind of a hot mess. But the final arc is a long one. And up until the very ending, it's really, really good. So yeah, cannot recommend Magi enough. In this day and age, it is super underrated because barely anyone talks about Magi anymore. And yeah, I just love it to death. There you go. That is shelf 1 of 3. Are you bored yet? I hope not, because we still got a long way to go. Will you treat me just like another stranger? Well, it's nice to meet you, sir. I guess I'll go this way on my way. The Zelda manga. All 5 legendary editions. This is something. Now, let me be clear. I'm a massive Zelda fan. I am god tier level Zelda fan. I could probably sit down without any internet access and recite a full 100% guide to Twilight Princess. But this manga, man, It's just fan service. I mean, it's cool. These editions are really nice, but they're really just like sped up retellings of the games, which, I mean, the story for most of the games isn't really what you play for anyway, so this whole thing is just kind of fine. It is one of the things I will be selling. I am kind of curious about the Twilight Princess manga though, because that one is like significantly longer than all of the others, and Twilight Princess does have a much bigger story than most of them. I do have a volume of that, which I'll show later. I'm definitely curious to see what that one's like. Alright, I waited for some daylight. How about that? That solves my problems. I don't own many Western comics, but here we have The Walking Dead 1 through 9. These didn't originally belong to me. They were my sister's. I mean, they technically still are. I haven't read this yet. I'm kind of interested in checking it out later. I really like the TV show. It's a shame that it was only 6 episodes long. So yeah, there's that. Then we have all my Brian Lee O'Malley stuff. We have the first 2 volumes of Snot Girl, which is a very entertaining series about a fashion blogger with allergies. Not quite what you would expect. We have the Scott Pilgrim full color 2-in-1s. Scott Pilgrim's like my favorite thing ever. I absolutely love the shit out of it. These releases are fine. I mean, the hardcovers are obviously like the best way to go to read Scott Pilgrim, but they do the job. They're pretty cool. Then we have Seconds, which I have yet to read for some reason. I really just got to do it. It's so short. But I'll get around to it, whatever. We have the first 3 Song of Ice and Fire novels. I've read the first one, really loved it. I'm not really in a rush to read the others, though. I think when Winds of Winter finally comes out, that'll give me the push I need to get through them. But yeah, eventually, and I'll probably get books 4 and 5 eventually. Down here, we have my 3 works by Junji Ito. We have Shiver, which is a short story collection. Tomie, which is like part short story collection. All 3 of these are really enjoyable, especially Uzumaki. That was really, really fantastic. They're just really creepy snippets of like really absurd horror concepts. Some really interesting and disturbing imagery in here. I'm definitely interested in checking out more of Junji Ito's stuff. They've been pretty much consistently releasing his stuff for a while now, and I know they're working to get even more of his stuff out here. I wish the volumes weren't so expensive, but they are extremely high quality, so it is kind of hard to complain. Over here, we have all of my Osamu Tezuka stuff. Osamu Tezuka, of course, he's pretty much the father of modern manga. He was only 60 when he died, but he left such an impact on this industry. The amount of manga he wrote in his time here was absolutely insane, and all of his stuff really still remains relevant. I mean, we just got a Dororo anime last year. The interesting thing about all this stuff is that aside from, I think, the Buddha paperbacks here, it's all out of print, like severely out of print. Like the Buddha Blackjack hardcovers and Phoenix, they are not easy to find, and I was extremely lucky to find them. If you don't know the story, I waltzed into a local comic shop one day, dipped down into the bargain bin, and there they all were. Literally getting all of these for like $5 a piece, which is kind of ridiculous considering some of these volumes can go for hundreds of dollars online. So I also have doubles of Buddha 7 because it's just like, I mean, they're so cheap, I might as well take them all. I believe the rarest have to be the Blackjack hardcovers here. As for what I think of them, well, I haven't really read Buddha or Blackjack yet. I am really interested in Buddha because I do hear this is one of Tezuka's best works. And you know, when he has hundreds of works, that is pretty damn high praise. Blackjack doesn't interest me as much. I believe it's like an episodic medical drama type thing, but I definitely want to read a bit of it at some point. Now, Phoenix, I have read all of. Of course, a story that spans generations from the distant past to the distant future, but they all revolve around the central concept of this bird that grants immortality. Easily one of the best manga I have ever read. I don't own the first 5 volumes or the last one, but holy shit, man, like Volume 2, Volume 4, Volume 5, oh my god. Seriously, like some incredible, mind-blowing stuff. The artwork, especially near the beginning, is a bit dated, but like seriously, but don't let that fool you, man. Phoenix is seriously some excellent shit. I would say Civil War is kind of like the weakest point, which also kind of sucks because it's one of the longest stories. But overall, if you can get a hold of Phoenix, it is well worth your time. Down here, we have Blade of the Immortal, the complete series. Goddamn, man, I know I recently said this in my last pickups video, but it took about 3 years for all of these to come out, and throughout those 3 years I've just been consistently buying it every single time a new one came out because Dark Horse is insane and they hate keeping these in print for some reason. These volumes go out of print all the time. It's insane, even the most recent ones. Dark Horse is just whack, man. They only like print the bare minimum they need to, and then they just all sell out, and then they wait forever, and then finally give us more. But it's also not even a guarantee that we get more, so it's all stressful. But whatever, it's here. We finally have it all. This is a very prolific series. It's been around for a very long time. It's very acclaimed. I am currently on the 8th omnibus, and I'll probably be done by the time you watch this video, and I'll have a review out soon. So I don't want to give away too many of my thoughts on this series, but I will say it is damn good, and it is definitely worth your money. The quality of these is excellent, so I would highly recommend this series. And lastly, on this shelf, we have the first 3 collector's editions for Fruits Basket. This is a decently old series. It's about 20 years old now, but I was first introduced to it last year with the new anime adaptation. And I love the anime so much that I decided to check out the manga. And for Yen Press, I was pretty impressed. The quality for these is really nice. The price is not too bad at all. And yeah, I really enjoy Fruits Basket. It's an excellent manga. Although I don't really know if I'm going to be picking up more of them, because I'm still 9 collector's editions behind. And with how good the new anime is, how good the first season was, I think I might just stick with that. We'll have to see, but yeah, Fruits Basket is definitely something I can recommend. Very wholesome, fun, but also tragic series. A lot of slice of life stuff, some supernatural elements. Really wonderful. And there we have that shelf. You know, pretty small, but we do have some really good shit here. I also have a pretty sizable video game collection that I'll talk about for a bit. Some of these games, particularly like the DS stuff, I've had for years and years. Like, only a dumbass 9-year-old would buy Crash of the Titans on DS, come on now. But yeah, original DS and 3DS here, fantastic systems. So much fun with them over the years. We got Vita up here, which was a short-lived system, but I really did think it was a fantastic piece of hardware, and a lot of people overlooked it because they didn't realize just how like crazy the Vita library actually was. But now, of course, the Switch has kind of replaced what the Vita did, so yeah. But yeah, Switch is also awesome. Some amazing stuff here, amazing ports of great games, and they're just elevated so much being able to take on the go with you. Here we have some Wii stuff. Everyone owned a Wii, you know, Metroid Other M. And of course the Wii U, which yes, I am one of the few owners of a Wii U. The system itself was kinda shit. Like, it really was. But in terms of games, it really had some bangers. But of course, now most of them are on Switch or have better sequels on Switch, so the Wii U is pretty much pointless now. But, you know, I had some good memories with it. And here we have my 2 3DS models. This was a launch 3DS, which I got, I think, on my 13th birthday. Jesus Christ, this thing's old. So old that it actually stopped working. The B button stopped working. So I eventually had to go and upgrade to the new 3DS XL, which is sick. This is... goddamn. Really love the system, and I still go back to play it from time to time. The Switch hasn't completely replaced it. Anyway, here are my PS3 games. You know, some excellent shit here. I spent hours and hours playing these throughout my youth. Uncharted, Infamous, God of War. Oh man. Ni no Kuni, one of my favorite RPGs ever. Dishonored, the Arkham games. Oh man. Here we have the GameCube stuff. This shit is old. I played some shit games when I was a kid, as you can see. I actually have Wind Waker somewhere, but not here, so oops. I do have the HD version, so this is not that big a deal. I can't find it. Here we have some Nintendo Power stuff. I started collecting Nintendo Power in its last few years, and these are really interesting. It's fun to go back to and just see what things were going on back in like 2010, 2011. And here we have my PS4 games. Definitely the largest collection here. 'Cause I guess PS4 was really when I became old enough to, you know, actually buy games and not have to wait for my birthday and shit. But yeah, a bunch of random shit here, not very well organized, but a ton of fantastic games. Not all of these are amazing, but most of them are. And just wow, there's so much great shit here on the PlayStation 4. And down here we have my DVD and Blu-rays. Now, I'm not big on collecting DVD and Blu-rays. I do pick them up from time to time, mostly for movies I really love. And some of these are quite old, like this SpongeBob shit I got literally when I was like 6. But as you can see, like, I don't really care about collector's editions. Like, I have a bunch of like packs here that just have a bunch of movies in one. I don't buy anime often, but I do have some stuff here, the notable one being the entire Full Metal Alchemist, the original series on Blu-ray. And these are just a mix of movies I like and movies that were gifts. You know, stuff like Jason Bourne, Once Upon a Deadpool. It's like whatever, but you know, like Into the Spider-Verse, Edge of 17, movies I really love. The Dark Knight trilogy. Some of these are memes, like The Happening, of course. I'm a big fan of horror movies, so of course I have a bunch of these. Shawshank is not horror, I just put it with all my other Stephen King adaptations. And Westworld, which is an excellent show. I'm very excited for season 3. I found this stuff in my room. This stuff's here too. I own this. Also, what are you doing there, you cheeky bastard? This whole thing is available on YouTube, but I also bought it for like $5 or whatever. Oh, I also got My Hero Volume 3 today. That came in. That's cool. Villain arc. Good shit. Alright, it is time for the final shelf and starting up here with my box sets. I do unfortunately have to keep all of the books in here just to save some space. But here we have the entire Full Metal Alchemist collection. Most of you know this is one of my favorite series ever. I got this the same Christmas I got the first One Piece box set. I'd already seen both anime series at this point, but reading the manga felt like a completely new experience. Arakawa's artwork is so amazing. I do think that this is the superior way to experience the series. And so long since I've read it yet, it's still one of my absolute favorites. I don't know a single person who doesn't love Full Metal Alchemist. It's really got to be like one of the most universally beloved things ever. And if for whatever reason you have not gotten into it yet, I mean, come on. Come on. This is probably like the most accessible manga ever at this point. Just get on that shit. Here we have Bleach, the first box set, and notably the only box set. Oh boy, this is tricky, but yeah, you can see it all there. The first 21 volumes. I have a complicated history with Bleach. I ended up selling all the other volumes I own because honestly, fuck them. I don't think Bleach becomes like truly abysmal until after the second box set, but I still didn't really care about the second box set at all, so I yeeted that away. On that note, I also yeeted away my Naruto box sets and my Claymore box set. Whoops. But that being said, I still believe that the first major arc of Bleach, the Soul Society arc, is one of the best battle manga arcs I've ever read. Regardless of anything that happens in the series afterwards, I still come back to this because I still love it so much. And if you are a fan of this genre, I think it really is a must-read. It's a shame what happened. I hope whenever Kubo does come back, because I think he's teasing a new series now, I really hope that he is able to recapture the magic of early Bleach and, keep it that way. One Piece box set up there, but of course that is empty because I've already showed you them all. I took Bakuman down because I couldn't get at it here. This is another really early addition to my collection, all 20 volumes of Bakuman. Now, when I first read Bakuman, I adored it. It was one of my first reviews ever. I gave it a 10 out of 10. But over time, I am kind of confused why I thought so highly of it. Now let me be clear, it has been like almost 5 years now since I read Bakuman, so I might just be forgetting things. But when I do look back on it, there's a lot of things I remember were not really great about this series. Overall, I would still say it's really enjoyable. But this is definitely a series that I need to read again. I mentioned in my last haul video that even though I'm going to be selling stuff off, there's a lot of things I want to reread. This is one of them. Not only do I plan to reread this year, but I think I may do a new review for it, kind of like how I redid my Tokyo Ghoul review. So this might be something to look forward to, because I really want to see if I want to keep Bakuman or not. Sugumi Oba is a writer that I've really lost a lot of respect for with his newer works, so it's possible I've just kind of like grown out of a lot of his stuff. But I'm still pretty confident that this is a good series. Not amazing, but I am actually really looking forward to rereading it eventually. Oh, and we have my Lego Millennium Falcon here. I built this like 12 years ago and it hasn't moved from the spot. This is where things get a bit wild because it's kind of hard to pack all of this stuff in here. But here we have Soul Eater trying to block out the sun. This is not ideal at all. And we have the final volumes right there. Soul Eater, again, another one of the earliest manga in my collection. I believe it's the second actually after Attack on Titan. And I love this series. I've gone back to it several times at this point. Such a fun action series, such great creative world and characters. I love the art style so much. I was a dumbass buying this at retail back in the day, but it's a series that I always look forward to reading a new volume. I remember like being so excited for the final volume to come out. I called the comic store like several times asking where the new volume was. It was kind of hilarious, but it was an awesome time, awesome memories of Soul Eater. I'm really interested in the new editions coming out later this year. Looks like Square Enix scooped it up from Yen Press, which was honestly probably a huge loss for Yen Press because this is one of their biggest series. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how those editions turn out. If they are really good, I might actually sell off my singles and replace them, but we'll have to see. But anyway, Berserk up here. We got most of the full thing here. All the the Golden Age stuff, the Lost Children, which is the best part of Berserk, the Conviction stuff, the Millennium Falcon of the Millennium Empire, whatever, the Ghost Pirates. If you remember, I got this a few years ago. I was going to slowly, painstakingly buy all of the volumes. I got to about like volume 8 doing that. Thankfully, my savior, Lurock, who is an old manga tuber, he doesn't really make videos anymore, but he came to my rescue and sold me the rest of Berserk for a very great price, up to volume 38, which at the time was the newest. And then I began my journey. I read Golden Age. Of course, I think it's one of the best manga arcs ever made. It was absolutely stunning. Although I was not joking when I said Lost Children was my favorite part of Bleach. It really is. I just think it's a ton of fun. I love that arc to death. Conviction was good, Millennium Empire is whatever. I hate to say it, but I kind of have lost interest in Berserk's story at this point.
By the nine divines! Assault! Assault! You elves are all the same. All flash and no fury!
It was still an enjoyable read, but just comparing it to Golden Age, it's kind of like, Volume 34 was the crazy one. I'll admit, this was like one of the coolest fucking manga volumes I've ever read. But then I kind of stopped after that because I wasn't really interested in what was happening. I think up to Volume 40 is out now, so I'll have to get on that at some point. But as of right now, you know, Berserk, I really respect it. A really great series. I just don't think it's as good as a lot of other people, but I am glad for them. Mob Psycho 100, this is without a doubt one of the best battle manga I have ever read. The anime adaptation is even better. I picked it up when Dark Horse first released it, and I was very baffled. I'm like, why are these releasing 6 months apart? What the fuck? But thankfully, it seems that since then they have sped up the release. Thank God. It would have taken forever if they didn't. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to continue picking these up, just because I have read the whole series. I do think the anime is a bit better. And I mean, these are expensive, and honestly, fuck Dark Horse at this point. But yeah, Mob Psycho is definitely a fantastic series that I highly recommend. I do think it is one's better work compared to One Punch Man. No matter how I look at it, you guys follow Not Popular, also Watamote. This is a series I really want to get back into, because I remember I loved this so much when I was younger, when I first picked this stuff up. It's a cringe series. It really is. Like, very, very uncomfortable stuff goes down in here. But it was very entertaining, a ton of fun. I don't think I'll buy these volumes anymore because they are very short, yet they're like ridiculously expensive. So Yam Press can go suck a fat one, but I definitely do want to reread this stuff at some point and check out what's going on, because I'm pretty sure this is still going on. Jesus Christ, how long are you gonna put Tomoko through all this bullshit? Here we have Orange. This is another series I kind of want to reread. Like Bakuman, another series I adored when I first read it. I gave it a 10, but looking back, I don't think I would be that generous anymore. I still remember having a great time with it. It was a really great story that had a lot of suspense. Yeah, I just don't know if I would still like it as much as I used to, but we'll have to see. I think like an epilogue side story sequel type thing came out. Might want to check that out too. We'll see. Tokyo Ghoul. Another one that's been around for a while. I remember getting this one, I believe summer 2015 is when they first started releasing it, and we all made fun of them because of just how extremely late they were to the party, because by that point, Tokyo Ghoul Re had already started. But yeah, so I slowly picked it up. I eventually read all of Tokyo Ghoul, and I enjoyed it, and then that was it. Of course, recently, only a few months ago, I reread all of Tokyo Ghoul. I found out that I loved it even more than the first time. I adored this series so much. I love the characters, the world, the art. Oh man, oh, it's so good. And of course I read Tokyo Ghoul Re, and it was a colossal disappointment. So for that reason, I'm getting rid of at least these 3 volumes. I don't think I'm going to sell the main series because I still love it so much. But Re was a huge letdown, man. I'd still recommend at least reading it if you're a fan of Tokyo Ghoul, because I know a lot of fans like really think Re is great. I really can't see that at all. But yeah, for that reason, I would still recommend at least checking out Tokyo Ghoul Re. All right, you ready for the good shit? Oh my god. This is my best shit ever shelf. Like, just look at, like, well, what else can I even say here? We have Vinland Saga, my favorite manga of all time, and another very early addition to my collection. If you remember, I actually had volume 1 before I even started this channel. That's crazy. I've been with this series for so long. And I remember, I think the first 5 volumes were what was out at the time, and I remember getting them all and reading them all, and it instantly, after I read book 4, it instantly became my favorite series, and it has stayed there. All these years, it is still my favorite series. I've told the story many times, but of course we were worried that Volume 5 would be the last one. There was no preview in the back, and there was no dates mentioned for the others. We thought Kodansha had cancelled the English release, but thankfully, Volume 6 and 7 eventually did come out. We got 8 and 9, and I think around this point, Kodansha was like, yeah, fuck it, we're not going to tease you anymore, we're just going to release the full thing. And now we have up to 10. And the newest one with 11. And with that, these being 2 and 1s, we are as up to date as we possibly can be. I just love this series so much. It got a fantastic anime adaptation this year. I'm so thankful for that, and I really hope we get a season 2, because when we come up here, book 7 of Vinland Saga, I think about this a lot. Like, there's a lot of contenders, but I really believe that this is the best single manga book I have ever read. So, you know, amazing shit, Yukimura. Keep on doing what you do. Drop by Newfoundland. You're probably going to come here for some research anyway. Pop over to my house. We can grab some drinks. You know, all that good stuff. Here we have Planet Test. They're upside down, but it's Dark Horse's fault because, you know, the spines are still technically going the right way. Another release I got as soon as it came out, and Dark Horse has been struggling to keep it in print. I don't even know if these, like, are still in print at all. But yeah, this was Yukimura's work before Vinland Saga, and I really desperately need to reread it because it has been several years at this point. I definitely remember it being absolutely phenomenal, like definitely one of the best manga I've ever read. And yeah, it's so short. If it ever comes back in print, I'd definitely recommend it, and I am really going to have to reread it soon. I don't think I'd have to re-review this one because I'm pretty sure my thoughts won't have changed from when I originally reviewed it all those years ago. Yeah, Planet Test, definitely an excellent read. And next up we have my Urasawa stuff. We have Monster, 20th Century Boys, and Pluto. Ooh! In terms of completed series, Monster is hands down the best I have ever read. This is some god-tier epic gamer shit right here. The story of Dr. Tenma and Johann Liebert. Ho! This was a series I always had my eyes on, but once the Perfect Edition started releasing, I really wanted to wait for all of them to come out. And goddamn, did I make a right choice, because these are some, oh my god. Quality of these is so good. It's so good. But honestly, it deserves it, because fuck, man. 20th Century Boys is his other big one. Depending on who you're talking to, some people say this is actually better than Monster. I wouldn't know because I haven't read it yet. Which, yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm dying to read this one, but I have made the decision that I think I am going to wait for all of them to come out like I did with Monster, so I can just read all of these, like, amazing quality volumes in one go. So we still have a while to wait, but I will get there eventually, and I'm so excited to finally check this one out. And here we have Pluto. This is a series I bought all in one go because I had heard nothing but great things about it, and as my first Urasawa work, it really blew me away and quickly became one of my favorites. And it's an interesting story too. For those who don't know, this is a retelling of a story arc from Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy, which is not something you see particularly often in manga. And it's not just a simple remake, this is a full-on reimagining. You don't need to have read the original arc. I mean, I did look into it. I watched some of like the old Astro Boy anime just to see what it was all about. Pluto is very different and far more mature. It's excellent stuff, all about, you know, humans and robots coexisting. Surprisingly, some awesome action scenes. If you're looking for a short, completed series to check out, Pluto has got to be like my #1 recommendation, because it's so damn good. Now down here we have some Inio Asano stuff. We have Goodnight Pun Pun, the complete series here. Another one of my absolute all-time favorite series, but it is really not for everyone. This was another series I waited for it all to finish before I picked it up, and I'm so glad I did, because this series is something else, man. It's the story about a young boy, Pun Pun, but like, oh fuck. It starts off very hopeful. He's a child. It's all lighthearted and funny. Honestly, I still think Volume 1 of Pun Pun is one of the funniest volumes of manga I've read. But just like the numbers on the spines, it only goes downhill from here, man. It becomes one of the most depressing and tragic stories I've ever read. The ending still haunts me. Certain images from this manga had me fucked up for days. So yeah, definitely not for the faint of heart, but one that I think is really special. Then you have Salon, and another Inio Asano story that is great. You only got a short 2-in-1 here, so it's not going to leave the impact Pun Pun did. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the characters. There's a nice little slice of life. That's nothing else happens in it, that's for sure. Next up we have the Flowers of Evil Complete Edition, Volume 1, one of Shuzo Oshimi's works. I'm a huge fan of Oshimi, specifically the Flowers of Evil and Happiness, but this is all I own of him. I bought this just as an impulse buy. When I saw it, I was like, oh shit, the Flowers of Evil, I love that series. And I haven't gotten any more since. I think I will, though, because it is only 4 volumes long. But yeah, Flowers of Evil, another really disturbing and fucked up story, but so good. A very quick read. It's consistently entertaining. I love how just fucked up and psychotic the characters act. It's good. Is damn good, man. Next up, we have my boring novels, ones without pictures. What the fuck? Got, of course, the classic Tolkien stuff. I hate mass market paperbacks, man. This shit, I got The Hobbit and Carrie in mass market paperbacks. I don't care if they're more cost effective. Fuck them. Real paperbacks. This is the good shit here, man. Got the Stephen King collection. I don't have the stand here. I lent that to my grandmother. I said the stand was my favorite last time, But now honestly, I gotta give it the Salem's Lot. This book knocked my socks off. Fuck, man. I'm also reading Pet Sematary now, which is pretty good so far. But yeah, there's a few of these I still haven't read. I mean, particularly like these two giants here. But yeah, so far I'm a really big fan of Stephen King books. And down here on the floor, because there's still no room for it, is the Dark Tower box set. I've still only read the first one. I am going to be continuing it soon. Hear great things about it. Very excited. As for other novels, there's two I got recently that I really want to check out soon. First being Dune. Dune has a new movie adaptation coming out at the end of the year, and I've heard amazing things about the book, so I definitely want to read it before the movie comes out. Then we also have The Eye of the World, which is the first in the Wheel of Time series, which is, of course, the huge, massive, acclaimed fantasy series that I know nothing about other than it's apparently fantastic, so I decided to pick up the first book, and I'll give it a shot. Also down here on the floor, right next to my doorstop, is Bone. I don't even know, these aren't even in order. But you know, fuck it. I grew up with Bone. I adored it. I was like the coolest 10-year-old ever because I had all the Bone books when they all came out. Then I got rid of them eventually, and then my friend, like, not too long ago, he was like, yeah, I have all the Bone books. You want them? I was like, fuck yeah, I want all the Bone books. I don't know why I got rid of them in the first place. I actually think we are missing a few here. But whatever. I do want to reread Bone at some point. I know it's a children's book. I probably won't think it's as good as I did when I was 10, but I'm very nostalgic for it, and I do want to check it out, because I hear that I think it's Netflix is making an animated Bone series. Holy shit, man, where was that when I was a kid? Yeah, I am looking forward to eventually going back to this, and maybe I will be pleasantly surprised. Alright, you fuckers, get out here. We got some bullshit to go over today now. What is this nonsense? Holy shit. Yeah, this is just a bunch of stuff. I'm like, whatever. Some of it I have to check out again. Where do I even begin? I guess I'll start from the top. The Seven Deadly Sins sucks. Apollo sent me this volume. I hate him for it. Opart's Hunter, I'll read this first volume. I don't know anything about it. Barry Noel, another series I'm going to be peeping soon, along with Black Butler. Sandland was cool. I read that a long time ago. Goosebumps movie novel. Fuck yeah. Tactics. Oh fuck. I'll finally be reading Tactics soon. Calm your dicks. Negima, I'll talk more about Negima now in a second. Christ, this is giving me PTSD. I can't believe I still own this shit. DN Angel! I'll be reading it soon along with everything. I don't know why it's out of order. It's probably because I didn't give a single fuck about it. And Negima, whatever this nonsense is, I don't know if I'll like it or not. If I do like it, I mean, I guess I have a shitload of it to read. Yeah, another one I'll be checking out soon. Knock it off the list. The Twilight Saga New Moon. It's a masterpiece, man. Well, what can I say? Grace and Fury. I forgot to talk about this in my last Pickups video, but they actually sent me this instead of the latest My Hero Academia volume, which I thought was kind of funny. They did resend me the volume for free, but I got this out of it. I have no clue what it is, but you know, it could be a hidden gem. Tokyo Ghoul, volume 14 in French. Oui, oui. Noragami, Stray Stories, spin-off, whatever. I mean, if I do like what I have, maybe this will be cool, but you know, eh. And here we have the Twilight Princess manga that I am kind of interested in checking out, because like I mentioned earlier, because it seems like they are giving a lot more of an effort to the story. Fuck, is Malo here? Look at this absolute fucking Chad. When it comes to manga babies, okay, Phil is obviously number one, but Malo comes like an extremely close second. Like, dude is fucking crazy. We have Dragon Ball, the complete series in the Vizbig editions. Whew. I think I got Z for like 30-40 bucks or something crazy like that. I did have to buy normal online price for the original series. We had Dragon Ball, the epic, iconic science fiction, action, martial arts, comedy. Fuck, this series is everything. And I am a pretty big fan of it. I really enjoy Dragon Ball, and I still come back to it from time to time. I just think Akira Toriyama is a master of action. Like, holy shit, the action scenes in this series are good. The story, I mean, we all know it. It's heavily flawed, but it's still pretty fun. And I'm definitely going to keep it, because I really have a soft spot for Dragon Ball. I mean, specifically the manga Dragon Ball. Like, anything else can really fuck off. But yeah, it's a great fun time. I definitely recommend it. It's another very accessible series, and I think the Vizbigs are of really high quality. You have the Death Note Black editions, all 6 of them here. They are 2-in-1s. In my opinion, this is the best way to read Death Note. And yeah, I really enjoy Death Note. It definitely hasn't aged as well on me. When I look back at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, a lot of the shit was really cool. A lot of it, maybe not, but it's still by far Sugumi Oba's best work. I think it really is a must-read. I mean, it's so short, and pretty much everyone has seen Death Note at this point. I got these so long ago. I think I got them all for 20 bucks. That was definitely one of the best deals I've ever had. And yeah, really cool. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to these. So I can't really say the same for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know, Jojo is awesome. Jojo's fucking awesome, I agree. But I mean, when I really think about it, most of my love for Jojo comes from parts 4, 5, and 7, which these are not. Don't get me wrong, Part 2 is excellent. I fucking love Part 2. Part 3 is also a hoot. I don't know, I'm just so behind on the JoJo hardcovers, and I really don't care about Parts 1 to 3 all that much, to the point where I really want to keep these. I don't know if I'm really ever going to be coming back to read, like, Phantom Blood, like, come on. So I do think I am going to be selling these. I may eventually, like, maybe pick up Part 4, Part 5, eventually. Like 10 years when it's out, I might get Part 7. But I think we might be saying goodbye to JoJo for now. Nothing against it, though. I still think JoJo's fantastic. These JoJonian volumes, goddamn are they sexy. Like, these are some of the nicest volumes I own. And even though Part 1 is a bit of a slog, like Part 2, Part 3, they are a ton of fun. I would definitely recommend them to battle manga fans. But as for me, I'm like, yeah, okay, I think my time with JoJo is done. Darker Than Black, another one I've had for a while that I'm going to be checking out soon along with everything else. And All You Need Is Kill, another one of the early additions to my collection. And another thing I gotta reread, because it's been a hot minute. This is actually the first review I ever made on this channel, and I haven't read it since, so it's been quite a while, but I remember Takeshi Obata's art being great. I think I liked it more than the movie, but it's been so long I can't really remember. But yeah, All You Need Is Kill was cool. Fuck, okay, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Okay, last shelf here. Akira, I got all these from the nice sexy box set when it first came out. The best Kodansha release I've ever seen, by far. These things are massive, excellent, huge hardcovers. Very, very good. I did take the dust covers off because I really don't like dust covers. They are safe though, so don't worry about that. But Akira, of course, the classic science fiction story, got turned into that like immensely acclaimed and impressive animated film, and it's a ton of fun. It really is. I don't think it's one of the best manga ever made, but it's just a really great action science fiction story with a ton of crazy elements. I've never seen the scope and the level of crazy shit that's in Akira ever get matched in another manga. It's not a very long series, and the box set is pretty expensive, but I would 100% recommend it, because reading some of this stuff on the massive textbook pages, fuck man, Akira is sick. In the same vein, and also sick, is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, another manga series that got turned into an amazing film. It was also printed on these massive volumes here. This is a stunning, beautiful series. The story is so good, just the scope, all the whimsy, oh my god. The environmental method, don't litter guys, don't fucking litter. Shorter and definitely more affordable than Akira, and I would definitely 100% recommend it. Miyazaki is really, he's something else, man. Winding down here, we have Neon Genesis Evangelion, another manga I want to check out again. I also gotta rewatch the anime at some point, because it's just been so long since I've read Evangelion. But I remember really, really enjoying it. I mean, of course, the ending is fucking wild and controversial and confusing, but the journey was excellent. I really, really love this manga. Also got these for super cheap. At the time, of course, this was not a thing. They like released these 4 and then just like forgot about putting the last 2 volumes into an omnibus, but eventually they did do it, so I am thankful for that. Last few things here, we have Made in Abyss. This is a series I really, really love. Got a great anime series. I'm super excited for the sequel movie. It's a series I love, but I'm just so behind on it, so I don't really know if I'm going to be picking up the rest of it. It's not for everyone. It can get very dark and disturbing despite the colorful exterior. Yeah, Made in Abyss is some good shit. Also some good shit, we have the first Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal Edition. I've gone on record saying that these are stunning, like these are easily some of the best quality volumes I own. I even say they're better than Jojo, which is saying a lot. But I just don't really like the type of glossy paper they use. I mean, it's all still really good quality stuff, but like I just prefer the normal feel of, regular paper. So, for that reason, I'm not going to be getting any more of these. As I showed you, I already own the full thing. But if you do want the nice premium Full Metal experience, you can't really go wrong with these because they are pretty excellent. Watchmen's great. Then we just have a bunch of random bullshit here. The Lorax, fucking the Cub book when I was a Cub Scout when I was like 10. Ooh, my college textbooks that were expensive and we never fucking used. Oh, I forgot to show Golden Kamuy. Here it is. I really, really love these first 3 volumes, but this is one of those series where at this point I'm so far behind on it that I don't think I'm going to be picking up anymore. I think I'm just going to, it's all on the Shonen Jump app. I think I'm just going to be reading it there from now on. I know this is some people's like favorite manga ever, so I'm definitely going to be checking out more of this soon. What else? Is there anything else? Am I missing anything? The William Shakespeare's Phantom Menace. Someone took all of the Star Wars movies and rewrote them as if they were like a Shakespeare play. They're fucking hilarious. Well, there you go. That was my collection video, probably the last one for a very long time, so I hope you did enjoy it. I'm absolutely beat, so thank you all so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next video. I mean, I am pretty burnt out now, so it might be a little bit, but we good. We'll see you soon.
I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason